we have to hydrate yourself. So grab yourself water and a coffee or a matcha, because this episode is going to serve you. So, have you ever felt like no matter how much you are in this self-improvement journey, you always feel like you're constantly behind and you're not doing enough, and just that you read a lot of books, you implement new routines and you stack new habits, but you don't ever feel like you're keeping moving forward? That's because you're in the self-development trap, where a lot of people get stuck and they don't even realize this, because they get trapped in this cycle of constant self-development, but they're actually not moving forward. They're just in the same place over and over again. Today we're going to talk about the self-development trap and why some people spend years of their life, like literally decades of their life, on self-development, on reading books, on doing whatever it takes, but then never actually moving forward. And I'm going to show you how to break free from this and to actually do the actions that will keep you moving forward, that rather than keep you in this self-development trap. Because I know that out there is a lot of BS and a lot of sugarcoating and a lot of fluff that you don't need. You need to acknowledge the truth, to keep aside the ego that is keeping you from taking the action, that is keeping you from going out of your comfort zone, and you just have to be true to yourself and especially honest with yourself. Because something that I've realized in the last years is that people hate to be honest with themselves. They would rather tell lies to themselves, lie to themselves about their decisions, tell themselves that their decision is good when it's actually just an emotional decision based on literally nothing. But our mind doesn't know the truth and doesn't want to do things that are rational, so our mind is used to keep making excuses for ourselves when we want to do things. Because a lot of times, maybe I need a new car because I need to get from X place to that place. But do you need a fancy car? Probably not. But your ego is telling you that you need that car because you need to feel good about yourself. You need that status. You need to feel good about yourself when you go out with friends. You need all those things that are literally just feeding your ego, but they're not doing you any good. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Stefania, and here we talk about leveling up, how to build the strongest mindset ever, and to build a life that actually feels good and not just looks good, because that's what's about. Life, it's not about aesthetics. Life, it's not about doing things just to appear a certain way. It is just to make things that make you feel good and make you proud of the life you're living when you're going to be 80 years old. So let's get into this video. Here's the thing, self-improvement never actually really ends. And while that sounds good, it is also the problem behind the self-improvement trap, because a lot of people get stuck in this phase where they're constantly reading, constantly learning, constantly watching videos, but never actually executing what they are learning. And that's why I always suggest you, and I always keep giving you homeworks, because that way you can actually improve your life and you can actually follow every step that I gave you in order to actually learn the things that I talk about. Because I used to be stuck in that trap too, where I was constantly watching videos, constantly learning and reading self-help books, but I was just feeling like I was stuck because I wasn't getting further in life. I was just learning, but I was never learning those things on myself, if that makes sense. I knew them, but since I never actually executed all those things that I learned about how to talk better, how to move better, how to maybe improve your relationships, if you're never executing and putting into place all the things that you read, that you see, it's actually better if you don't look at them at all, because it doesn't bring you any more value into your life. It doesn't add value into your life. It is just losing your time. It is better to watch one video and to implement that one thing that you saw in that video for 1 week, so that you had the experience, rather than watching 50 videos in that week and then you don't even remember one thing. So one tip that I have for you and that you have to implement is less learning and more doing. You have to take more action than the things that you're learning. So rather than reading 50 books a year, focus yourself on reading maybe 5s and divide them into the whole year in order to actually implement all the things that you read in the book. So for example, if I read or watch a video about how to improve public speaking, guess what I have to do? I don't have to watch 50 videos about the same topic. I just have to watch 1, maybe 2, and then use that week in order to implement all the things that I learned, so I have my own experience. Because while others' experiences make you gain time because you don't do the same mistakes that other people are doing, at the same time you have to learn them on your own skin. You have to live them in order to truly make the experiences and the lessons yours. Here's a hard truth. Self-improvement makes people feel like they're always in the wrong side and that they need to be fixed. But it is not like that. Every book that you read, every video that you see, every routine that you see is telling you there's something wrong with you. But what if you're not actually broken? What if the only thing that's actually making you feel like you're behind and that you're not doing enough is the constant pressure from social media, from the videos, from the books to just be better? That's the problem, the constant pressure to be better. You're not broken. You don't have to fix anything. So one actionable step that I give you is to reframe how you see self-growth. Instead of thinking what I need to fix about myself, what am I doing wrong, start and reframe things like what I'm already proud of, what I'm already doing the right way, what are the things that I'm already doing great or that I already learned how to do them better, like public speaking, for example, like how to deal with the relationships, how to deal with friendships, how to deal with yourself, how to take care of yourself, how to put boundaries into place. You have to see self-improvement as a process and not as a goal that you have to reach and then you're done. Because self-improvement, it is not like that. It is constant progress that will help you get further in life. But only if you make these experiences and all those things that you see, that you watch, yours. And most importantly, you have to watch and read all of those things with a critic mind. You don't have to see all the things like, they told me this, it is true, and that's done. Because most of the times, social media gets things wrong, like feminine energy. Feminine energy is not about aesthetic things. Feminine energy, it's about feeling good about yourself. It's about nurturing yourself. It's about nurturing what's inside of you as a woman. And we all have feminine and masculine energy, but that does not mean that men only have masculine energy and that women only have feminine energy, because we both have the same energy. It is just how you choose to use them to your advantage. Like for a woman, it is absolutely important to be in their feminine energy, but at the same time, if they want to be in the business world, they have to reach their masculine energy. Social media has literally turned leveling up into another job, because you have to wake up 5 a.m. in the morning, you have to read 10 pages, you have to go to the gym, you have to do a business, you have to do your content, you have to do all those things. But if your routine it's actually just keeping you busy, and it's actually just making you feel like you're doing all those things but isn't making you happy, you're not doing the right thing. Because you have to feel empowered by your routine. You don't have to feel exhausted. Like, what I'm trying to say is, if being busy and having all those things, even if you're exhausted, makes you feel good, it's absolutely fine. But if you're doing all those things just because social media tells you to do them, and you're not happy about yourself and about how you're living life, it's not worth it. It is absolutely not worth it to live a life that doesn't fulfill you. So instead of stacking 10 habits, just focus on one thing, or maybe two, or maybe three, that actually make you happy, that actually make you feel fulfilled. Because when you're in this self-improvement journey, the only thing that you're striving for is fulfillment. It is not to feel busy, it is not to have 100 things to do, it is just to feel fulfilled and to feel happy about the life that you're building. Because if not, it's not worth it. Like, for example, I do all those things. I have a full-time job, I'm starting a podcast, I have a dog, I take care of my family and of the house, because that's what makes me feel good about myself. But I don't feel exhausted. Like, of course, sometimes you're tired, but that makes me happy. That's what I'm striving for. That's what makes me feel fulfilled. Like, sometimes even my boyfriend tells me, like, you shouldn't do all those things, just stay in your feminine energy, don't stress too much. But at the end of the day, if I wasn't doing all those things, I wouldn't feel fulfilled. I wouldn't feel like I'm doing actually something with my life. And it's not about reaching goals, it is just about literally feeling good about yourself. Like, feeling like you're doing something about your life and literally taking the action. Because I'm not out here reading all day. I just read one book this year. And guess what? My goal, it is not to read 50 books, because I know that if I focus my time on reading and to getting this number of 50 books read, I won't have the time to implement all the things that I read about and all the things that I learn about into my life. And that's, for me, it's not worth it, because if I read about something, I want to implement that into my life. It is because I want to learn it and make it my experience. Because self-growth isn't about doing more, it's about doing the things that actually matters. It's about doing the things that actually make you go further in life. That's just everything. You don't have to do 100 things at a time. You don't have to have all those fancy things. You just have to do the things that matter to you the most. You just have to do the things that actually make you happy. The people who succeed aren't the ones that have this perfect routine, get up at 5 a.m. in the morning, do this, do that. It is not about that. It is about knowing when to rest, knowing when to do more, and they just focus on doing high impact things that actually give them a return. It's about doing 20% of the things that actually give you 80% of the results. So instead of focusing on things that take 80% of your energy to just give to you 20% of return, focus on the things that are high impact, because that's the only way that you're going to see growth into your life. Self-improvement is supposed to make you feel better. It's about self-improvement is supposed to make you live a better life and not to make you feel like you're never doing enough. So if you're feeling burnt out, like you're never doing enough, guilty about yourself that you're not doing enough, Let this be your reminder that it is okay sometimes to reset and just focus on little things that actually make you happier. You don't have to follow all the routines that you see on social media, because what might work for someone might not work for you. That's everything, because we all have different lives, we all have different priorities, we all have different lives in general, so you should not compare yourself to someone else's journey, because what might be important to you might not be important to someone else, even if you're on the same journey of self-improvement. And don't forget that there is a podcast coming soon, so stay tuned because you're going to love it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you learned something and that it reminded you that you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to follow all those crazy routines, because I know how hard it is sometimes to remind yourself that it is okay not to do all those things. To wake up at 5 a.m., read all those books, get to the gym, then get to work, then do this and that, and have social gatherings. Whoa! Do what makes you feel fulfilled. Do what makes you live a better life and what makes you feel happy, and not just what exhausts you. Because in the end, if you're doing this just to appear like you're on this self-improvement journey, but you're not actually improving, it is not worth it. Tell me in the comments, have you ever felt like self-improvement was actually just stressing you out instead of helping you? Tell me in the comments, because I'm going to get to your comments. And let this be your reminder that you don't need to do more. You just have to do the things that actually help you move forward.